Hi everyone, this is Jackie here at Shell FCU and welcome to our YouTube Live. We're so happy to be here. We're gonna be talking about a very requested topic, which is mortgage loans. And today joining me, I have our amazing real estate supervisor, Jeanette.
Hello, I'm very excited to be here and talk about this hot topic.
Yes. And she's ready to get all of those questions answered. So ask us your mortgage questions in the chat, and at the end of this live, we will be getting those answered for you, okay? Si ustedes están sintonizando y tienen preguntas en español, Jeanette está aquí para contestar sus preguntas acerca de mortgage loans. Hipotecas. Yes, so feel free, like I said, to drop your questions in the chat. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can keep up with all of our seminars that we're going to be having, okay? So our objective today is to give you an understanding of mortgage loans, and which is why we have the perfect person here to get all of those, like I said, questions and all that information. We're going to give you tips today as well. So enough of me talking.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into
Jeanette,
it.
can you tell us what is a mortgage?
So a mortgage is basically a loan for your house. You're not going to buy the home outright in cash. We're going to provide that financing for you, and that's what a mortgage is. You get that loan on your house, you keep some of that money in your pocket to decorate, to whatever with your house.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So can we go over a few of the key terms? That way, we can better understand like whenever there's a special lingo when it comes to mortgages, right?
Yeah.
So can you go over some of those key terms with us?
Of course. So one of the terms that you often hear is principal. I'll give a rundown of some of the acronyms that we use, some of the terminology, and then I'll go into depth of what they are.
Okay.
So you do hear a lot about principal. You hear about the interest rate. That's like a hot topic right now with everyone. So also the term, your mortgage types, and down payment, equity. All of those are just terms that we so often use so freely in the mortgage department that sometimes can seem just a little bit foreign to everybody that's not familiar with it. So we want to make you guys comfortable with it. We want to make you familiar with it. So I'll start on the principal part of it. So the principal, this is the amount of money that is borrowed from us, the lender, to purchase your property. This is the initial loan amount.
The initial loan amount.
Yes.
Okay.
Then the interest rate, everybody's favorite topic right now. The interest rate is the percentage that's charged by the lender for borrowing the money. This is usually sometimes expressed as an APR, annual percentage rate, so you will see that as well. But this is basically the cost of what it is to borrow that money from us.
Gotcha.
And then your term, that's going to be the length of time. We have different terms available at Shell Federal Credit Union. So we have 10, 15, 20, 30. Sometimes you can even pick your term with us. Okay. So it's just the length of time of that mortgage loan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the shorter the term, does it make a difference on like your payment or not necessarily?
Yeah. Usually the shorter the term, the lower the interest rate. But sometimes the payment can be a little bit higher because you're squeezing it all into a smaller little term. But yes, that definitely does have an impact on your monthly payment.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah. Mortgage types. There's a ton of mortgage types. A lot of people hear it, FHA, VA, different things like that. What we offer at the credit union is conventional financing, fixed rate mortgages, and we have products that are competitive and comparable with those FHA mortgage types. So a lot of people think FHA is the way to go, and it's not always like that. We have programs that are conventional that remain competitive with FHA, and you don't have to pay this term private mortgage insurance for the lifetime of the loan. So we're really looking out for our members and trying to always stay in the know with our products so that we offer what's most beneficial.
Right.
What else? Down payment. So we offer down payment options as low as 3%.
Okay.
Also, a misconception on that is a lot of people think that if we're going conventional, you have to put 20% down. Totally not the case. So we have, like I said, we remain competitive. We allow members to bring as low as 3% down. And we'll get in a little bit later what the pre-approval process looks like, but the loan officers do such an excellent job at helping you decide which down payment option is better for you.
Awesome.
Yep. Equity. Equity is a big one. So equity is the difference that you owe on the mortgage and what your home is currently worth. So an example of this would be if you owe $150,000 on your mortgage and your house is worth $200,000, then you have $50,000 of equity. So it's like a little savings account of, you know, as those home values escalate, that's more money in your little savings account. So
Okay,
that's
gotcha. I
equity.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that. I can hear her talk about mortgages all day.
Oh,
You're
good,
so
Jackie.
knowledgeable. I love that. If you are just now tuning in, we have our mortgage loan, our real estate supervisor, correct?
Yes.
Jeanette Flores here joining us, and she's gonna go ahead and answer all of your mortgage questions. So make sure you drop all of your questions in the chat, and at the end of this live, we're gonna go ahead and get those answered for you. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Sorry,
Yes.
I had to throw that in there. So now, can we go over the different types of mortgage products that Shell offers?
Yes. So we have purchases, refinances, even cash out refinances. We offer financing on principal residencies, second homes, investment properties, all of that we have to offer. Closing costs, we even have an option for no closing costs. So that's pretty good. If I do say so myself.
We love that.
Yeah. And then for credit score, the criteria is a 620 minimum for your credit score. And as I mentioned earlier, we have down payment options as low as 3%.
3%.
So the financing would be 97% on that.
So if someone were to, you said that the credit score has to be at a 620.
Yes.
What if it's like a joint mortgage? How do you guys go about doing that?
Yeah, so for a joint mortgage, we look at an applicant and co-applicant, and we don't look at a specific bureau.
Okay.
So it's 3 bureaus. It's Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian.
Right.
So we won't specifically use one. Whoever, they'll report a high, a low, and a middle, and we'll go off of that middle score.
Okay, the middle score.
Yes.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. And then, are you able to go over is it PMI?
Yeah,
okay.
PMI, that's that mortgage acronym.
Yes.
So, private mortgage insurance. So this is mortgage insurance. It's on your loan. So when a borrower doesn't put 20% down, there is private mortgage insurance. With FHA, if you finance for 30 years, you pay that private mortgage insurance for the lifetime of the loan. So it never comes off. It's separate from your homeowner's insurance. Your homeowner's insurance covers the actual property, your dwelling, things like that, your goods that are in the home. But private mortgage insurance is just an additional insurance put on by the lender to protect that loan.
Right.
So with FHA, they pay it for 30 years. With us, it'll fall off at 78% loan to value.
Okay.
Yeah. So once you're at that 78%, your home is, worth that much, and you're at the 78% loan to value, it will automatically fall off.
Okay.
So that's an added benefit.
Right.
Yeah.
We're just full of benefits here.
Full of benefits.
Awesome. Now let's go over the mortgage pre-approval process.
Yes.
Okay, can you give us a little bit of an overview of what that looks like?
For sure. So this is one of my favorite topics because there's also misconceptions about it. A lot of people, whenever they're starting to look for a home and thinking about home ownership, it can be very overwhelming. It's the biggest purchase that people are going to make in their whole lives.
It's kind of scary if you think about it.
It's scary. And
At least for me, I'm speaking for myself.
It's sure. I mean, it can seem daunting, but it's also so special. Like, you're going to be creating memories in this home, and it's like, I get so pumped up about this. So whenever you're getting pre-approved, so many people think like, I'm going to get pre-approved. Like, I need to pay off all my cards.
Right.
I need to zero out all my debt.
debt.
I need to save all of this money. And I always say that even if you're not thinking about homeownership right this second,
Right.
if you're thinking about it maybe within the next year, get pre-approved now.
Right.
Because if you're not where you need to be, our loan officers are they're so full of knowledge.
Right.
So the
Oh,
pre-approval,
they're so great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the pre-approval process, it's free. We're not going to charge you to apply. So you can
Right.
come in, you can apply with them. They're going to look at different things. So during the pre-approval process, they look at income, they look at assets, they look at your employment, things like that. And they just basically tell you, okay, this is what you're at.
Right.
This is what you're pre-approved for. And then you can go do the fun part and shop.
Yeah.
But if you're not where you need to be, they'll tell you, okay, these are the next steps that you could
They'll
take.
guide you.
Maybe you don't have to pay off something. Maybe you can
Right.
pay it down and save some of that money, to do something exciting, like furnish that new house that you're
Yes.
gonna be buying.
Yeah, yeah.
So the pre-approval process is fast. Typically, there's different ways to apply. You can apply online, in the office,
Right.
over the phone. We want you to apply.
Yes.
And like I said, it's free. You
Yeah.
can apply for free.
Yeah.
And just know that where you're at, that pre-approval will be good for 120 days. So you have time
120
to
days.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
have
while.
time to do some shopping
Yeah.
and look around and
Some good time.
yeah. So-
Awesome. And like Jeanette mentioned, this is actual people looking at your application. It's not computers, it's not machines. You get actual people, an actual person that is here and ready to help you with
Yeah.
all of your mortgage
Yes.
questions. or
Yes, of
anything.
course.
Yeah. So once you submit an application, what happens after that?
So once you submit the application, you get your pre-approval. If you're working with a realtor, you give it to your realtor. You
Okay.
let her know, hey, this is how much I'm pre-approved for.
Yeah.
And they look for homes in that area, or you can look for homes in that price range.
And I'm sure realtors love that too, right?
Yes.
Once you come to them with the pre-approval.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, because they're going to know that you're serious about it. You've
Yeah.
already done the legwork. They know that your credit is, you have some credit worthiness. You have something standing and, behind that pre-approval, so you're good. They're going
Right.
to take your offer a lot more serious than somebody
Yes.
that hasn't been pre-approved.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how's it like working with the loan officer here?
Well, it is amazing. Not is it only amazing with our loan officers, but our whole team is here.
Yes.
So it's your loan officer, your underwriter, your processor, your closer. Everything is here. Even after you close, you can still call us for any questions that you have. If you have a question about your mortgage statement, if you have a question about your insurance, whatever it is, that's the added benefit for financing here with the credit union is that we're all local. You're not
Yeah.
gonna call and then you're gonna be sent off to overseas. We're all here. And
We don't do that.
I guarantee you, everybody is as passionate as I am about the mortgages.
Yeah,
So
they're
all
amazing.
Yeah, they're willing to
Yeah.
help.
And some of them are even bilingual too. So
Yes.
if you are a Spanish speaker or someone that's a Spanish speaker, send them our way.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, of course.
So after that, right, you got pre-approved. You get your pre-approval letter.
Yeah.
Right? So what is a pre-approval letter?
Your pre-approval letter is basically telling you how much you are pre-approved for, what the price is of the home that you can look at and buy. And after you have that pre-approval and you do your shopping, you find the home of your dreams and you go under contract. You send us the contract. After that, the loan goes into processing.
Okay.
So processing is going to work on a lot of the fun stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of the legalities. There's so many parties that are involved with the
Okay.
transaction, like attorneys and different things like that. But your processor is going to be your main point of contact after you're pre-approved and work with your loan officer.
Gotcha.
But nobody ever goes away. Nobody
Right.
ever goes away. So once you're pre-approved, you start, you're with your loan officer. Once it moves to processing, you can still call your loan officer. We're all
Okay.
working together.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So
They're a
they'll-
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll order, the processor will order title work, verifications of employment, appraisal, things like that. So they'll gather all of the information that's mostly for the property. That we have to get to make sure that our collateral is good, it's safe, and that you're going to be purchasing a property free and clear of any liens, that it's all good to go.
I love it. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. So we spoke a little bit about the pre-approval process. So can you talk now about the mortgage loan process now with us?
Yeah. So, like I said, the loan process, it starts with your pre-approval. After that, the processor. After that, underwriting. So your processor is going to gather all of those documentation, all that documentation, the title work, appraisal, all of that. Then they send it into underwriting. Underwriting's going to look at all of that documentation. They're going to be that second set of eyes, and they're also going to be the ones to give the final approval. We always want to protect our members and ensure that what they're buying is good for them. You know, that there's nothing that's on title, that the property looks good, that you have insurance coverage sufficient to cover your home should something happen, should there be a storm, should anything happen. We want to make sure that you're covered. Right. Because that's the goal of home ownership. We want to just make sure that the home that you're living in is structurally sound, that you're good, that your family is good. So that's how it goes. It'll go loan officer, processor, underwriter, and then closing.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. I like the best part.
Yeah. So closing, they finalize everything. They go and work hand in hand with the title company. They go over all of your fees. At the pre-approval, the loan officer will give you an idea of what fees are, like what the title company fees and things like that are. But everything's kind of projected because at this point, we don't know for sure. Right. So towards the end, that's when we have the final figures from the title company. We have all of that information. So the closer will finalize everything, work on giving you all of the disclosures with the very itemized line items of what is what, who you're paying for what does it cost, and they will provide you with a closing disclosure. Right. And we, by law, have to give it to you with time, at least 3 days. We usually will do it sometime before then, just to give you enough time to really review it, think about it, ask any questions that you have, and then you can give us a call. Awesome. And then after that, you get the keys.
Yeah, we're so great here.
We really are.
I've been reading some of the questions that are on here, and I'm like, we have a lot of people on here asking questions, and we love that. We're going to get to those questions at the end of this live. We're so excited to go ahead and get those answered for you. So, Jeanette, you got your pre-approval. You went through the mortgage loan process. You're now closing on your home, right?
Yeah.
So what tips now do you have for our members in regards to like managing and maintaining their mortgage? Do you have any tips for us today?
Yeah, for sure. So something that does happen after you close is you will want to file an exemption with the county. So if you buy a property in Brazoria County, Harris County, I mean, we offer financing all through Texas. So whatever county it is that you're purchasing your home, you're going to want to file for your exemption. So usually it's a homestead exemption for a primary resident. It's kind of like a little discount on the taxes for it being your primary home. So that's one of the items that you want to do right after you close. You want to get that filed. Another thing about that is you want to make your mortgage payments on time. You know, of course, that's something that you want to do with any type of liability that you have. And just make it on time. You can make it online. You can make it with one of the tellers. You can call us too. We do have a sub-servicer. Their name is Midwest. But they're just a sub-servicer. So if you, for some reason, don't even want to call them, you call us. And we will work together with them, do conference calls, whatever we need to do to keep you happy, informed, and just, making the best decisions for your home.
Are they able to set up automatic payments as well?
Yes.
On mortgages?
Yes.
Even though it's through Midwest too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And we'll go over all of that at closing. Well, actually, at the closer, we'll provide them with an ACH form within their closing package documents to see if that's something that they want to opt in or opt out. Yeah.
Okay.
And if they don't want to opt in on it at closing, they can always give us a call later and we will send the form to them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And we have mortgage loan officers at Deer Park.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
And did you say Katy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we do have several branches.
Yes.
And, but we are primarily in Deer Park and Katy, but we are willing to make accommodations when needed. So if for some reason, you're at the Pearland branch and that's the closest to you, give us a call. We'll make it happen.
Oh, awesome.
We'll make it happen.
Like I said, we're just awesome here.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything to make things make life easier.
For our
we've got
members.
you covered.
Yes.
And I know you spoke a little bit about homeowners insurance, correct? Can you
Yes.
go a little bit more in depth about that?
Yes. So for homeowners insurance, this is, the insurance that you'll get to cover your property, cover your dwelling. A lot of times there's content coverage in there, and you will want to start shopping around for that while your loan is in processing, maybe even as soon as you get the contract. Once you have the contact information for the insurance company that you're going to be working with, you send it to us and we review it. We review it to make sure that, your deductibles are in line, that the coverage is in line for the loan amount and enough to protect you, your home and your contents, your everything.
Yes.
That's what homeowners insurance is all about.
Very important.
Yes.
Make sure you get it.
Make sure you get it. We'll tell you to get it.
Right? You're like, you have to get it.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go over a few of common mortgage questions. Okay. So question number 1, what is an escrow account?
Ooh, this one's cool. Okay, so an escrow account, and I'll have to use my hands for this.
No, you're fine. Yeah.
An escrow account is like a little savings account. So if you're putting 20% down, you have the option to opt in or opt out of having an escrow account. That'll be your decision. But if you're not putting 20% down, you will be required to have this escrow account. So your payment will be composed of your principal, which is what I said is that loan amount,
right?
Your interest, which is expressed, the amount that we're charging you. And then you'll also have taxes and insurance. So what happens is every month you're making your payment, and the taxes and insurance will be separated into this little escrow account.
Okay.
It's like a little savings account.
It's like a savings account.
Yeah. So rather than you managing it on your own, we will manage it on your behalf.
Okay.
And whenever the county sends us the bill, we'll disperse the funds for you.
Oh.
Whenever the insurance is due to renew, they send us the bill and we send it on your behalf.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So what if you don't have enough money on there? What if you have too much money in there? Or is there...
Yeah,
Do you have the right amount in?
Yeah.
How does that work?
So we calculate it based off of tax certificates and the insurance that you provide to us at the loan application. But, taxes go up, insurance goes up, notices do get sent out of, hey, this is going to go up. We're letting you know. Do you want to shop it around? Because you're still in control of that. We're just managing that account for you.
Right.
And then if you have overage in it, then you can decide, do you want to keep it in there as an overage, or do you want to
go
spend
shopping?
it? Yeah. So that'll be something for you to decide. And yeah, I mean, you can shop with
That's
it or
awesome.
keep it in there.
I love that. Get you a little escrow account.
Yeah.
Second question. Do I have to pay off all of my credit to get pre-approved for a mortgage loan?
No, definitely not. That is a very common misconception, but no, you don't. And that's the big reason why I really, really encourage, especially those first-time home buyers, to get pre-approved. It's free, and we'll tell you what you need to do. Don't go spending all your money on that if you don't have to.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's true. Question number 3. I know I asked you this before the live.
Yeah.
That was my biggest question. How much money do I need to have in my bank account to be approved for a mortgage loan?
Yes. So we do ask that you have sufficient to cover your down payment and your closing expenses. So that's why the pre-approval is so good. We'll give you an idea, more or less, of what needs to be in there, how much you need to save, how much you don't need to save. And that's the reason, too, why we play around with those down payment options.
Right.
There could be a scenario where you initially wanted to put 20% down, but then you decide, you know what, I'm going to put 10% because I still qualify.
Right.
And then I can save the other 10% for something really cool. Again, like furniture, or maybe some really nice pots and pans.
Yes.
You never know. Those micro sets, So, that's all it is, just sufficient to cover your closing expenses, and your down payment is what we ask.
Right. So it's different for everyone, right? Because the mortgage home.
It's not going to be a specified dollar amount.
Right. So you actually have to obviously get pre-approved so you can know.
Yes.
Get
for
your
sure.
pre-approvals.
Get it.
You need it. Number 4. more. Is there a fee to apply?
Nope.
No?
Free.
Free,
It's
free.
free to apply. So apply.
Yes. Question number 5 and our last one. Do I need an inspection?
The answer to this is that we as the lender do not require an inspection, but we do encourage all of our homeowners to get an inspection. We order an appraisal. So the appraisal will tell us the value of your home, and it only goes into a certain depth. So that inspection's gonna give you a lot more detailed information. So we always encourage our homeowners, our potential homeowners to really get that for themselves. Peace of mind.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So now we're going to move over to the questions in the chat. So if you have any questions for Jeanette, go ahead and comment those on here. We're going to go ahead and get those answered for you. Let me move this over a little bit so that way you can see. Let me see. Crystal, can we watch this video later instead of now? Yes, you sure can. It will be on here. Let me see. So Bessie is asking, I paid off my house over 4 years ago, but never got my title back from the title company or my bank. How do I get my home title in hand?
If it's with us, I can definitely look into that and get that sent right over to her. Perhaps it was missed, or I don't know what the scenario is there.
I don't think it's with us. I think it was with someone else. Maybe.
Yeah, okay. So we'll definitely reach out to your lender and get a copy of that. We'll be happy to get that sent over.
Okay. Maria, let me see. How do we get started, or what we need to get started for first-time home buyers? And I think we went over that during the live, correct?
Yeah. So Maria, just to answer your question, get pre-approved. It's free, and we will definitely guide you and let you know what the steps are that you need to take for that homeownership. So that's the first step. You can go online and look at things that we typically look at, like income documentation and things like that. The recommendation that I always make is just get pre-approved. If you don't have all of the documentation, that's something that you can gather later on, send to us. But just come in, apply, start there. That's the best way to get. That's the first step. Just start.
Yes, get pre-approved.
Yeah.
Does a divorce affect buying a house?
It's not that it necessarily affects it. If you are divorced, we have to analyze different things. We do look at like your debt to income ratio. So, if you are paying child support or something like that, then we have to obviously analyze that. But it doesn't have necessarily a negative impact. It's just something that has to be accounted for.
Right.
Yeah.
Crystal is asking, I know switching jobs is never good when trying to buy a house, but if someone does and they're making much more than before, how will that affect the process?
So all we ask for is transparency. We definitely pre-approve you based off of a certain criteria. So if you're working with a specific company and then you change, we have to order verifications of employment, ensure that there's been no changes with your income. So just having that communication with your loan officer processor, just so that we're in the know and can order the right verifications with the right company and get those paycheck stubs and things like that. And just go from there. I mean, if you're moving jobs for a better opportunity, good for you.
Right, right. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome. Just let us know and we'll figure it out. But we do look at 2 years of employment history, not necessarily the time that you are with a specific employer.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
I love that. Let me see. La Cocina de Haiti is asking,
I love that.
Can we qualify to buy a house while paying a car loan?
See.
Yes.
Yes, of course. Yeah, we just, like I said, you got to get pre-approved for it. And if you qualify with that auto payment and the new house payment, you're good.
Okay, awesome. Stacy is asking, with first buyer, is there a closing cost? I guess if you're a first-time home buyer, is there a closing cost?
So yes, there is closing expenses. You will be responsible for your down payment and your closing expenses, but we do have a no closing cost option available where we as your lender will cover those expenses on your behalf. So we will be paying the appraisal fee, we'll be paying the title company fee. So different programs available for different types of purchasers.
Okay, awesome. Danny is asking, if I go get a pre-approval to see where we stand, does that include a credit check? Will that be a hard inquiry on our credit, and will that affect our credit score if we don't buy a house in the future?
So when we do a pre-approval, we do a credit check. We have to, right?
Right.
Just to see exactly where you stand.
Right.
Every single time that your credit is ran, there is a possibility that your credit score can be impacted, but you don't know if you don't know. So still
Still get your
pre-approved.
It's free.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah.
And like you said, just to see where you stand, and we can help you. Like Jeanette mentioned, we have amazing group of loan officers that are here and ready to help you throughout the home buying process. You don't have to go through this process alone. I know it can sound very scary and intimidating, but we are here to help you. We are here to guide you. You can always obviously stop by any one of our locations. You can give us a call, go to our website. We have a really great mortgage website with all of this information on there. So if you want to just go back to our website, or even come back to this YouTube in the future and just rewatch it to gather more information, you can feel free to do so. We have, like I said, actual people here ready to help you. Okay. And of course, we have our financial wellness center on our website, where you can find like a mortgage affordability calendar, a mortgage estimator calculator, and even a rent affordability calculator. So use those resources. We have them there for a reason. They're here to help you. Okay. Thank you so much, Jeanette, for joining us today. We hope you got all of your mortgage questions answered. If you submitted a question during this live, you will be entered to win a $25 gift card, which will be announced after this live. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Jeanette, again for joining us. We had fun. It was great. It was very really informational. Fun. See you guys on the next YouTube live.
See you next time.
Bye.